And here we go. All right. What's up, everybody? This is my third time having Mr. Joshua Dean as our guest here in the Mortgage Coach community. I am super pumped. So, Joshua is up this year. Last year, he closed the year at 124 loans at $47 million in production. This year, he's up 5 million, coming off a month where he did, was it 6 million in about, how many loans did you close last month, brother? Oh, 13.
6.2 for 13. Yeah, right around there, that number. Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, you will. He is a producing manager, so he does personal production. He's got about 9 loan officers in his branch. So producing manager. And then in addition to, being up in volume, he's also up in responsibility. He's taken on a national sales role. He is the national coach for Homeowners Financial Group, a great client of ours. In full disclosure, they have our full tech stack, our data, Mortgage Coach. They are one of our, just absolute testers on everything that's new. So Joshua, good to have you here and appreciate you, my brother.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me back. Good to be face to face with. I watch everything that you're doing. Love what you're doing, Dave. Thank you for your commitment and raising up leaders. I love where being newer to the industry. I love where the industry's going and the heart behind it, right? To go serve and lift up others. So always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, well, we're going to put links down below. We'll have a link to housing link. And within that housing link, thank you, Scott Nicholson, for providing that as a service. Any links we talk about, we'll have them down there in
Nice.
that one link. And we'll put both of Joshua's last 2 interviews in there. By the way, Joshua, you also mentioned you coach your kids' sports. What do you coach?
Coach Hoops, man. So my oldest is 12 and has been playing travel basketball. My middle is 11. Right now we're in the 12-year-old. So we're playing in the Puma circuit. We play with a local organization called Wood Elite. So it's been a crazy summer already. We've flown to Indiana. We've been in Memphis. We'll be in Orlando here at the end of July, just competing. So 6th grade basketball, man. Being able to be present with my kids and my family, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It goes quick. My oldest will be 13 here pretty soon, and I don't feel I'm not supposed to be that old, man. So it's good. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I coach my kids' sports as well. And guys, one of the pillars of everything we do here at Trust Engine, and when you think of Mortgage Coach Next Generation, it's coaching at scale. So it's no surprise that you're doing that. So you are out of, is it Canton, Georgia? How far outside of Atlanta is that?
About 45 minutes north from the airport we call it. So yeah, where Buckhead and stuff is. Yeah, about 45 minutes north. Yes, sir.
Cool. Cool. One of the things we talk a lot about, what I'd love to hear you unpack, is to win going forward in the mortgage space as a local provider, you got to win your database and you got to win locally. And so within the context of that, because I know you agree with those thoughts, you coach, you teach on it. How are you winning right now in this market? I mean, rates are still high. There's lots of challenges. Consumers are on the fence. Should I buy? Should I stay in this 2 or 3% mortgage, or should I move up? How are you winning in this market?
Yeah, well, I feel like I'm a product of many men and women you have on this program, as far as being able to communicate around just advising, right, and giving scenarios and options, helping people see the data. I heard somebody on here talk about, show me, don't tell me. So that's where the Mortgage Coach tool comes in so often, getting that in front of agents, getting that in front of clients. And to your point, just being local, being just deepening relationships. And coming alongside, I think when you talk about coaching, whether it be at the national level that I get the privilege to do, really investing and pouring into your agents as well. They've navigated a lot of things, and so being a true partner is not just going, "Hey, do you got a deal for me?" but showing them different tools. I think the integration and the partnership between mortgage professionals, in those top level agents, really getting them to see the shift in the market as it relates to really being data driven So, and then certainly owning your database, making those calls, not having call reluctancy. I think the days of just things showing up on your doorstep or people to get pre-approved or whatever is shifted. I think you got to go hunt for the business. You got to go earn the business. And if this is my 7th full year in the business, and thankfully, from production, I have a pretty good database that I can reach out and do annual reviews and check in. One of the things we're working on right now, Dave, that's been a lot of fun through the coaching that I get from my guy, Brad Roach, is is reaching out to people and asking them about their kids. We're in seasons of life where, you got kids buying homes. And so we want to be that trusted mortgage professional that we could help their cousin, their sister, their brother. Who else do you know? So we're being very intentional around that in our database right now, trying to find those 20s and 30s something that are looking to buy and bridging that gap. So those are, there's a ton of things we're doing, man. It's fun. It's just leading with the right heart and really giving data and helping people make the best financial decision for them in their future.
Well, I want to do two things. So everyone's watching this. There's going to be two chapters, like how to win your database. And I'm going to be asking you, like, give us the checklist of the tools you're using, the strategies that you're implementing to win the database. And then we're going to go, and how do you win locally? Like, what are you doing in your proximity, in your zip code, in whatever local markets that you look to thrive? Like, how do you win locally? I do want to do a push. This is just a coaching note. If you're on this and you have not checked out firsthomiq.com, it is a 501c nonprofit, financial literacy, and it's all about first-time home buyers of any age. Well, what makes it kind of unique is that it has a lot of content that's very relevant to Gen Z, which means, by the way, all that means is they got a house hack. They got to be creative. They need to be creative with down payment assistance programs. They got to be creative with having their parents help them. And so it is a great data strategy, and there's a lot of content. Check out First Home IQ. So walk us through, like, if there was a checklist of things and I said, hey, you got your loan officers that work for your company, and then you have other loan officers thinking of you as a producing manager. How do you win your database? Like, tools and strategies, let's list them out.
Well, obviously, of course, mortgage coach is at the top of that. So we're leveraging total cost analysis to show different scenarios, different options, buy now, wait, cost of waiting, all those things that we know help people make wise choices. We also use HomeBot. HomeBot's a great tool for us that our organization is partnered with a lot. So that's a huge part of our database work. So as we're getting intel from that, picking up the phone. So, and leveraging 6 and 12-month check-ins. So how I run my shop is we check in every 6 and 12 months. We have our CRM that sets that up. And those are great phone calls. One thing I've implemented, and I feel even silly, and this is all part of our growth, right? We're all growing. A few months ago, I implemented a 30-day follow-up call. We've always done like an email, but I'll tell you what, in the last 90 days, that 30-day follow-up call has just been so great from a couple different reasons. One, it's just nice to check in when some of the madness has calmed down for our clients that are buying. Again, thanking them, setting expectations. Now, I'll do a video a few days after they close, letting them know if we sell the loan, we'll check in, all those things. But that call's been great. It's a great way to follow up on a review. It's another fantastic way to ask for referrals. What we're finding is if you ask people, if you go deliver value, people are more than happy. They can't wait to go tell and share their experience. So that's been a huge part of our database. Digging in on the annual reviews, we have an annual review link that goes out that we follow up with a phone call that ask a handful of questions around their insurance, and they're paying more on their mortgage. Do they have a CPA? So we're digging into that. And so just working through those theme days, Dave. Today's a pre-approval day, man. I've called a 23, 24 pre-approvals today. We sent out updated total cost analysis with a video presentation, just checking in, just staying top of mind, leading with a service mindset to help people make good choices as we're heading into another weekend where people will be out looking at homes, and we want to help them get the best deal possible.
Yeah, I love that. So let's go through the checklist. I want everyone listening to this. Number one, he is doing proactive check-ins with his database. And by the way, he realizes his number one priority is his database. That'll help him with realtors. And so he's doing check-ins. I know, because when he says mortgage coaches also means he's getting a pre-active look at data. Like, he knows not only who's running a mortgage with someone else, like most loan officers now have credit inquiry alerts, but he has things that are more predictive. How can I get to the consumer faster, earlier? I'm actually going to be on stage. I'm recording this. Everyone on Facebook, it's June 6th, Friday. When this hits YouTube, I'll probably be at the gathering with Housing Wire. I'm going to be on stage with Bruce Gerke, who is the head of customer intelligence for the lending industry for JD Powers. And one of the things that he's talking about, and by the way, I'm going to be following the CEO of Rocket, the CEO of Cooper, the CEO of Redfin. So those guys will be on stage delivering a presentation, and Bruce and I are going to come up. And by the way, guys, I already know where the puck is going there. One of the most important things that the innovators in our industry are doing, speed to need. How do I get to the consumer even before the consumer is clicking and thinking about a loan? And so that's something Joshua is an absolute leader in. The Mortgage Coach Next Gen app does that. Like, it's being predictive with data. He has HomeBot, so he's getting that database in a platform where he can see how they're behaving, how they're interacting. He mentioned Mortgage Coach. So guys, just think of that as speed to clarity. Like, when you think of everything we talk about, it's like speed to need. And then how can we get a consumer really clear? Should they buy now? Should they wait? Should they tap their equity now? Should they wait? Speed to clarity so they can make a decision faster. Gosh, hey, let's do some scripting really quick, because you take action on this data. And I think one of the things that holds loan officers back is they don't know what to say, or they're not confident about what they say. And given that you're coaching a lot of loan officers at your company, how are you coaching loan officers on exactly what to say when they call, either on a data signal that we created, or a reach out? Like, what's your
Yeah,
advice?
well, real quick before I do, it's funny, we're actually working on scripts and it's funny how scripting, I think, has become, and it's kind of like the red car syndrome, right? When you pay attention to it, it starts to really balloon and grow before you. But I was on the phone with our national sales leader this morning. Eric Zier is an incredible leader at our organization, and we're we're doing our June scripting palooza for, we stole that word from whoever I think you guys made that up, so we're borrowing that for the month. And
Go for it.
there's a lot of great script, but you're right. I think that just a real quick to touch on that, in my coaching role, I think we assume, or I do at least, we can assume that people really know how to go pick up the phone because they're in sales. So we have crafted kind of 5 scripts, and one right now that we're running is just that mid-year check-in, right? We're at the midpoint of 2025. And so what does it look like to reach out to partners who maybe have been somewhat dormant, have been somewhat, maybe you haven't been getting their business. And now, again, if you haven't been consistent in following up, these are tough calls to make. So to your point, if we're doing the consistent activity that creates the opportunity, then these calls should be very easy to reach out. So those calls are something like, hey, Dave, I can't believe it's halfway through the year, man. We're plugging away. Would love to set a time. We're helping clients. We're helping people win in this market as we have a clear strategy around goals and plans. And so we're playing that out for people, with whether it be through a cost of waiting analysis, a buy versus rent. We have a total cost analysis customized for them. I'd love to jump on a Teams call and show you 10 or 15 minutes to show how we can help your clients take their next best step. What does next Wednesday or Thursday look like?
I love that. I love that. Any other scripts?
Yeah, another one we're calling on, obviously, which is crazy, right? You've been in this business for a while. Is it crazy to think that for the first time in a decade, we're in a true buyer's market? Like a true buyer's market, which I know it doesn't feel like that because of where rates and price points are, but from the standpoint of so many sellers out there. So one of the things we're being very intentional about right now is, unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to say it, some of my top producing agents who've been great partners, all they're doing is listings, right? Which is great. So I got to go figure out, how do I become a part of that? So one of the things that we've been really doing a lot of scripting around is making these calls and not telling agents what to do. Again, we want to partner with them, but really letting them get a glimpse, again, through a total cost analysis, showing them what it looks like if you're to the drop in price. So we're just making this phone call. Hey, Dave, Joshua here. Hope you're doing great. Hey, just saw you got another listing. Congratulations. Where we're seeing people win in this market right now is understanding that every $10,000 is about 50, 60 bucks a month in price. So what I'd love to do for you and your sellers is I'd love to create a total cost analysis to show you what the price drop would look like, versus if we used a 2-1 seller buy down. Even I'm going to show a 2-1 seller buy down to help move this property. We know there's more listings on the market. We want users to sell faster. We'd be honored if we could get the client. I'll put that in your inbox here in the next couple of hours or so. Any questions about that? And it just
Yeah.
starts dialogue. So again, what are we doing? We're delivering value. We're reaching out. So I'm spending a lot of time. That's why I spend time with Spencer Schultz. Shout out to Spencer Schultz, who's the man over there at Mortgage Coach. I love him, appreciate him. Learning on putting in templates and how to move that quickly. So we're adding value. So that's another script we're doing around trying to get in front of agents. Could we get the deal? Some open house scripts. Right now, with all these sellers, I'm going to pop into a couple open houses this weekend, Dave. I'll never get to a place, no matter where I'm at in my volume. I love that direct consumer connection. So I bring my iPad with me. I put a total cost analysis on it, and I'm showing, hey, we can help you get this house today based on these options. So instead of asking for money off the price, what would it look like to pay full price and get a buy down? This is what's going to save you the first year. So we're just finding ways to go win in the market where we're leading with data and with empathy, right? Just continue to remember that this is challenging for a lot of buyers. And so we lead with empathy, but we lead with data-driven results. And we do it by showing people what that looks like, and then ultimately let them make the decision, right?
So write that down. He is leading with empathy and data. And then I also think it's a good segue to talk about how you're winning locally, because you just told one strategy. And just remember, guys, while I do not think, if you're watching this, you're probably a local referral-based mortgage professional, or you are a leader of local referral-based mortgage professionals. While I do think Rocket and what they're doing, and really all the services are doing, is a major threat to your rate and term refis. Like I think no matter how good you get, you're going to lose some of those. But by the way, if you have Mortgage Coach and speed to need, you're getting there faster, you're delivering more value, I think you could still win with those. But the thing that you have most going for you, and it's going to be hardest to beat you at, is first-time home buyers, because they need a lot of education. And I do think just winning local. And so hearing that Joshua is going out, he's meeting with realtors, he's going to open houses, he's leveraging his proximity where he lives, and he's being that local leader. By the way, I am going to ask to unpack that a little bit more. Like, what you said, you're bringing your iPad. I want to know what Mortgage Coach experiences. Well, let's just go there first, and I'm going to ask, what are some other ways that you're winning locally? But what's on that iPad? Like, what are there were 2 or 3 strategies and stories that you're coming to these open houses with. What are those?
Yeah, well, I'll say this. I've heard from you talk about winning locally. I want to be the premier lender, mortgage professional in Canton, Georgia, in my area. I want to own that, and I'm very intentional around that. Being in the community, spending money in the community, being out in the community. We talk all the time being for the community, and not just in the community. So that's first and foremost. I think the other thing is, in my opinion, I think the opportunity right now to get in front of agents is as robust as it's ever been. You have some of them that are really challenged and they're having a difficult time. And so some of it's around mindset. We talk about mindset a lot, about getting next to them and encouraging them, showing them different ways, sometimes giving them a pep talk. So the opportunity right now to get face to face with agents, I think in my understanding, it's as best as it's ever been. So I'm having multiple meetings per week, 3 to 4 agents face to face per week, multiple phone calls. And when I'm getting into those, I have a presentation that I present, that I'm showing them how we run our business and how we serve them. So that's something we use on a regular basis. That's been huge. I've been doing that for a while. I show up with my iPad. I've been doing that for a long time. It's probably been my sweet spot to do that. And then I'm showing them Mortgage Coach tools. I'm talking about the different products that we have in our organization. As Bill Rogers well, he's built a beautiful, incredible thing here, that we have a great tech stack. We have a lot of incredible people that make up our organization that allow us to go be front facing. So it's a lot of meetings. And then I think the other thing is, before I get to the open houses, if you're fortunate enough, if I'm doing 10 to 12 loans a month, I'm getting those listing agents front and center. A lot of agents are scared. A lot of agents feel a little bit overwhelmed. And so through Tuesday status updates, through check-in calls. We got 3 contracts today. I make a phone call to every agent, thank them, set expectations. And one of the things I'm asking them on those calls today, Dave, hey, David, we do a great job honoring you through this process. You may have a partner, but if we do, would you be welcome to grab a cup of coffee with me or jump on a call? I'd love to show you more about what we do for our partners. If we deliver on this in the time, would you give me that honor? Do you know that I always say yes? So many of my meetings, I met with one of the top producers recently at Keller Williams here, who's been in the business for quite a bit of time, who just had a lender change. It's my third meeting. He's about a 25, $30 million real estate professional. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get his business. And he'd heard about me through other relationships, but he was the listing agent on a transaction we closed in the last 45 days. And he just was blown away by the communication. And by that second week Tuesday update, Dave, I'm asking that client, that agent, if they're open to grabbing a cup of coffee. We're striking while the iron's hot. We believe we create an experience that matters. And so we're doing it, and they're open to it. Everybody likes a free cup of coffee, a free lunch. Um, and so that open house strategy is just bringing on my iPad. I'm bringing my presentation. We have a first time home buyer packet that presentation that we've created on my website. I always have TCAs pulled up. I always make one for that specific property that I'm going to be at, where I'm showing them the difference between dropping the price, a buy down, a future refinance. So we're walking through all that on a TCA on my iPad.
So
And
here's what we got to do. We got to do, if you're game, another call. And instead of, maybe I'm on it, maybe I'm not, but it's you and Spencer, and we're turning that one strategy. Like, you want to win locally with realtors, and then you come with some scripts, some real world ideas. Spencer comes with like, hey, how to implement this,
yeah,
and does a little bit of a teaching around Mortgage Coach. And I'll first of all, I don't want my schedule to get in the way, but are you game if we 30 minutes for you and Spencer and we put this in our YouTube channel?
no, I'd love that. I think it's great. Any way we can go help. Listen, I'm, as a national coach from my organization, but I want the local mortgage professional to win. Listen, I believe that we're better in relationship, we're better in proximity, but we have to step up. To your point, I mean, we're going to lose some refinances. I do think the trust engine intelligence is going to limit that. I do think it'll squeeze some of that because we're getting that intel and that data. I love when I get a text on my phone, you got a new opportunity, right? We're jumping right in there and seeing what that is. And I know there's some things coming down the horizon that are going to help as well, my friend. So I'm stoked about that. So all these tools, and you say this so well, it's that, listen, we're not replacing the need for a local professional. That is always going to be the case. People will always do business with people, but we would be remiss if we don't leverage technology in the way that other entities are. And so what you provide through Trust Engine and HomeBot and some of these other incredible tools, it allows us to be really front facing and be top in the market in data and showing. I just think that the TCA side of things. So I would love to do some scripting around that. Love to help work. Like I said, we're living in that right now.
Well, we will get that scheduled. If you're watching this, stay tuned. You're going to get a whole tactical coaching on that from our head of coaching, Spencer and Joshua. So we'll have real world mortgage professional talking from the street, what he's doing, how he's winning, mortgage coach, teaching and training. Let's close out with this, because I know you're using our AI mortgage coach. For anyone watching this, it's rolling out middle of July for the whole world. There will be a group that gets it the 1st of July. You have it right now. How do you like it? First of all, what do you think about the mortgage coach AI borrower experience?
Oh man, I mean, I love it. I love our relationship, Dave. I'm so grateful. Brandon Durham does an incredible job, championing that for HFG. So shout out to Mr. Brandon. Yeah, I think it's great to be on the front end of that. So, when you think about how do we continue to create an experience that matters, that is, I say all the time, clarity leads to confidence. So that's why every TCA that goes out has a video presentation on it. They're always going to get a video, breaking down what they're looking at, walking them through that. So, a way that this AI tool has really enhanced that experience, Dave, is now what we're doing is it's allowing them to, actually chat and ask great questions around what they're seeing. So even though I'm talking to them and sharing, hey, you got a 1-0 lender buy down, we got a 2-1, we got this. If you wait, here's two, all the different scenarios we can go create. It allows them to ask, in light of how long I'm going to be in the house for, what's the best option? If I want to refinance, in a year, what's the best option? If I don't want to pay, what's the lowest cash to close option? And so we're teeing that up So it's just a great extension of us. And I love that you guys are embracing that because AI is here. It's been here for a long time. We're just seeing it now at a very larger type of in our face, right? So it's been great. I get a lot of feedback from it with TCAs that we're sending out. We're seeing the activity. So I think it's been a great tool and excited to see
So,
it grow.
so let's do a little bit of a training and then we'll wrap up today's session. Um, when you send the mortgage coach now that it's AI enabled, I really want to get a script like where you just pretend I'm a consumer and you're going to send me the mortgage coach total cost analysis. I don't care whether it's 15 seconds, a minute, whatever that framing of the presentation. And then I don't know, do you have one that after you give me the presentation, do you have a total cost analysis you could show?
Yeah, I'll make a note of that. I can send you one. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I got one
Okay,
in there.
well, actually, why don't you do this? Why don't you give me your script? And
Yep.
then, by the way, guys, I interviewed Jeremy Forcier, another top producing mortgage professional who has access to this feature. He gave me his script. While I'm playing Jeremy's script after your script, you actually pull up a TCA, and then let's actually demo the AI feature if you're
Yeah,
cool
you
with
got
that.
it. Yeah. So here's a
Okay.
great script. Hey, Dave, thanks again for the opportunity to help you through navigate the mortgage journey. What we have here is going to be a few options for you to look at. I've highlighted them specifically. Pay attention to those areas. I'm presenting a few different ways for you to navigate that. Where based on payment, cash to close, a timeline of a future refinance if we can go do that. And so we'll connect on a call once you've had a chance to review everything based on the strategy that we put together for you. In light of that, one of the things we're really excited about is we have the ability to talk to this tool. So if you get stuck or have any questions, over on the left-hand side, there's going to be a little AI feature that you can type and ask any questions. And some of those questions might be, Dave, what's the best option for me? What would it look like if I wanted to refinance soon? What is the cheapest option for me? So, Dave, as you navigate this tool, we hope that it helps bring clarity. As we say often, clarity equals confidence. So we're looking forward to helping you guys get into your next home, and I'll be on the lookout for a time for us to connect on the other side of this. Thanks again for the opportunity to serve you and your family. It's an honor. We'll talk soon. See you.
So I loved a lot of things. First of all, I gave some prompts to the consumer. I love that he said you could talk to this report because, by the way, you could type it and you could hit an
Talk.
audio.
Yep.
And
Yes, sir.
so, literally telling the consumer you can talk to this. And I loved how he tied it to, clarity and confidence. So let's play a quick little clip around how Jeremy does it. And then right on the heels of this, why don't you show it, we'll demo it, and then we'll go into a wrap up of today's coaching session. So this is how Jeremy, same script, only different top producer.
So Dave, it was awesome meeting with you. Here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a total cost analysis, which is going to be a video presentation of some of the things that we talked about in strategies, et cetera. There's going to be a video of me in the corner walking you through it. And you might have questions when you're watching it. Here's what's great is that you can interact with it and you can ask questions in a chat screen within it. And it will answer your questions. So you can ask things like, hey, what's the best program on here for me if I'm going to live in the house for 10 years? You could ask it like, what's the lowest cost option? You could ask it, if I'm going to refinance in 12 months, like which option would be most cost effective to me? So you can ask it any of these questions that you want and get answers. And then I would love to go over and review that with you and make sure it's in alignment with what your long-term strategy is. So if you have any questions, type them in the chat. Feel free to forward it to me, of course, as well, but use it when things pop in your head to see what it says. And then that way you can ask me better questions to create the best clarity for yourself. That's how I would start.
All right, guys. So now you've heard two different data-driven, local, modern advisors, how they're positioning. Guys, this is the future of lending, only it's here today. Why don't you pull up a total cost analysis? Let's demo how that works. Show maybe like you might, if you're on Zoom with a consumer, you might actually show the consumer how it works.
Yeah, no, it's good, and man, Jeremy's good. Anybody, I love listening to his script stuff. He's does a great job. So, yeah, so you can. So this is what this looks like. So some things pop up. So one of the things that we have at our organization is we sell a 1-0 lender buy down. So I explain that all the time on the video, but it's nice. So what does the 1-0 lender Buy down mean, you see that up there. It gives you some prompts. So let's do this. So we click that. And when a lender bond means the lender is offering a temporary interest rate induction. In this case, the interest rate is reduced by 1% for the first year of the loan. So instead of paying 6.75, you pay 5.75 for the first year. After the first year, the interest rate returns to the original rate of that, right?
Hey, wait, real quick. Before you do the next one, I want you to do it with audio. So I just want you to click on that little microphone.
Yep.
Don't click on it yet. When I stop talking, click on it and then give the audio prompt.
Sure. Hey, what does APR mean?
And do the next one with the prompt. What else are some of the common things that people are asking?
Well, that's the big one. I was going to say APR. I get that question all the time. Here's another one is, let's do this again here. Based on these options, what is the lowest cost option for me?
So guys, like this is the future of lending. It's today. And when the consumer is having this interaction, you're getting a transcript. And by the way, how do you like that transcript that you're getting?
I love it because it gives me, they don't know that, I love how Jeremy said in his, by the way, he's so smooth, but hey, send that to me. So, maybe those who will be using this, it's a great tool. So we get notified. We actually get an email from letting us know what they're asking the AI tool. So I love that because it's, you know what it is? It's a great way to follow up, Dave. So now I know that, and I don't have to call when I see this. I don't necessarily call and go, hey, I got this, I got your, details from your conversation. I would say, hey, Dave, just want to check in, man. I know you got a chance to look at the analysis. I just want to see if there's any specific questions that you had regarding what we sent over to help have clarity about how we move forward to the next step, right? So it's another trigger or prompt, if you will, to get back to the client and be the advisor. And I want to say this because I've talked to our team about this a lot. I think sometimes, Dave, the apprehension can be that this is going to replace us, or does it take me out of the loop? And I just want to reassure anybody that gets access. It's not. It's an enhancement. It'll never replace us, but it's how I view it is it gives me another prompt to reach out. So it's letting me know what the client is thinking. It's letting me know what the client is trying to navigate and what their pain point is. So when I call, I got the cheat code. So if you've been typing in what's the least lowest cost option, I want to come back when I call and go, hey, Dave, just want to circle back. What was the question? Now I already have some things loaded in my mind to go, what's really stands out to you? Where do you find yourself? What option are you aligning with most, Dave? And if you go, I really want the lowest cost option. Well, I know what that is now because I got the AI tool and I knew it before that. But anyway, so this is great. Short term 5 years is 6.375.
So go ahead and stop sharing, my brother.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, if you are a manager, whether you are a producing manager or whether you are an executive of a company, like we have the data. The loan officers that are using this versus the loan officers that don't are getting 20 and 30% higher conversion rates. So we know credit reports are expensive. I actually hosted a roundtable with 8 executives of mortgage companies, and they said previous to this year, credit reports were costing us like around 3 basis points a year, and they're like, it's like 7, 8 basis points. I just talked to a bank. Credit reports are costing 8, 5 basis points, so they're very expensive, and that's where disclosures start. And MortgageCoach, if you're an executive on this, it's less than a basis point. Like you could have MortgageCoach for all your loan officers for like a basis point. And for individual loan officers, you can sign up today for $150. And it's never been more important that you're giving advice with price. And it's also like credit reports are double. We haven't gone up. But you know what? As we roll this product out, it is a question of when are we going to raise the price, because we're adding data, we're adding AI, we're automating the creation of this. So get on the team sooner, get your price locked in. Whether you're an individual LO, now is the time to sign up. You can just go to trustengine.com and sign up. Also, that master link down below, we will have a sign up link for individual LOs. I will also have a link for a demo. If you want to get a demo of this AI feature, see how we're using data, sign up for a demo. All right, bro. Well, you crushed it. Any closing thoughts for everybody?
Well, I'll just say when you were saying that, it's just such a good reminder because there is real life stories. I won 2 deals this week, Dave, that other lenders sent a fee worksheet, did not provide any sort of analysis, didn't provide any sort of advice. They sent what they thought was the lowest rate. And we know the lowest rate is not always the best strategy because that really depends on the individual's goals and timelines. And we were able to pick up almost $1 million in volume this week because of those 2 things. So, I'm so grateful for the tool. It's something that I embrace. And it makes me feel, I think when I talk to a lot of loan officers about being confident, going boldly with confidence in the market, being data driven allows you to go do that and show options and really advise and make sure that you can lay your head on the pillow at night and going, hey, I'm trying to do right in what's best by everybody I interact with. And that is the difference. That is the difference. You talk about a lot, Dave, being rocket proof for that's the difference in what we do. It's belly to belly. It's in the trenches with people, really giving them the best option, not the lowest rate, not trying to get something by them, but really advise with a confidence that honors their family, honors your family. And what an incredible option. I think, I know the market's been hard, man, but I love what I get to do every day. I love the organization. I love the people I get to serve with. I'm grateful for my team. So I'm really enjoying the opportunity. And there's days it's hard, man, but it's, anything worth having is going to present challenges, and we're at the front of it. And I'm glad to do it with men like you and many others, man, and we get to do it collectively together to make a difference. So thank you.
Yeah, well, hey, you're winning your zip code, you're winning your market, you're winning your database, you are future proof. And then thank you for stepping up and taking the leadership role at your company where you're coaching other loan officers. I do believe that the technology is there, guys. Like the technology to be profitable in this market, to thrive in this market, like it's there. It's the adoption of that technology. And for anyone listening to this, the master skill right now is unlearning some workflows that you currently have that are not serving you. It's learning new workflows. And by the way, when we roll out like, oh, AI, we got to learn now how do you use that with the consumer? How do you use that as a value prop? So it's about unlearning, learning, and then relearning, and then just the iteration of that. That is the master skill of 2025 and going forward. All right, brother, this is a wrap. Everybody, we hope you got value. Remember, there's a link down below. Everything that we've mentioned, there's a master link that you can find anything you want. Can't wait till our next interview. Take care, everybody. This is a wrap. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Take care, everybody.
See you, brother. Thank you, man. See you.
All right. Thank you, brother.